the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. Tonight, it's the transfer show, so we're going to look at some names that are linked to the club. And also, I'm joined by Pete and by Roly. How are you guys? All right?
Very well, Tony. Very well.
I'm feeling positively Champions League, top of the league.
Yes,
and
don't want to get into trouble.
And I'm feeling 1,000 subscribers good.
So if you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel stay near the top of the search, and it means new viewers can find the channel more easily. So do smash those likes. Also, if you are brand new at the channel, then come and join this great community we have here. And also the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. Yes, I am on 1,001 subscribers. I just want to say thank you to everybody for your kind messages on my 1,000 subscribers video that I put out on Monday morning. You know, thank you very much for your kind words. That's all I can say. If you do want to become a member, it's 99p a month. Just click the join button. Thank you, Pete. And also, if you want to make a donation to the channel, you can do that in the chat by clicking the $sign. Before we get into the show, let's just get into some comments and see what people are saying. Oh, and BR straight in. Evening, Tony, Uncle Roly, Sandro Tonali. Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Harry, that says Andrew. Yeah, absolutely fine, mate. Hope you're well.
Hey, Andrew.
Ian says, evening, Tony and Roly. Good evening, Ian. Hope you're well, mate.
Good evening, Ian.
Mighty Max says, evening, all. Hope all is good and well. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I was going to do a show yesterday, but I didn't get home till very late on Sunday night. And then I didn't really get a lot of sleep, so I just couldn't be bothered last night to do a show. I was just too tired. Ian says, just like to say hello to Alex Ferguson. Hope he's enjoying his sour plumes. Oh, that man, honestly, yeah. Evening says Mason. Good evening, Mason.
Good evening, Mason.
Wayne says, evening, Tony, Roly and all in chat. Good evening, Wayne. Hope you're well, mate.
You well as well, Wayne.
People talking to each other there. BS says, evening, Pedro.
Evening, Bia.
Oh, no, Pete. He's got nothing for you tonight on PD. All right, okay. And now I've said it, something's going to happen. Hi, Tony, Roly and chat says, Gary. Hi, Gary. Hope you're well. Ian says, well done on your 1,000 subs, Tony. Well deserved. Thank you very much indeed, Ian. You know, the channel's not even 10 months old yet, and to get to like 1,000 subscribers in that quick time, I'm shocked and surprised, but you know, sometimes you got to put the hard yards in, as they say. Oliver says, good evening to you, mate. I hope you're well. He says, you know what? Klopp's horse teeth can F off and keep his comments to himself. Sir Alex also, or has he lost it? Do you know what it is, Oliver? Klopp can't even get a midfielder through the door. He's tried for Caicedo. He didn't want to go there. He wanted to go to Chelsea. Tried to get Lavia, had a bid accepted for Lavia, and he won't even go there. He wants to go to Chelsea as well. So just shows you, maybe foreign players will come abroad to Klopp, but players that's based in this country want nothing to do with Liverpool, and it's starting to show. And it wouldn't surprise me if Klopp is sacked by Christmas, let's be honest. Gary says, England Women World Cup semi-final tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. BBC One. I'll be at work, but I will try and watch some of it if I can. But come on, the women, let's get you to the World Cup final and let's see if we can win it. And that's 11 a.m. kick-off on Sunday if they get the final. Wayne says, hello, lads. Hi, Wayne. Hope you're well.
You all Wayne?
Would-be farmer. Howdy from New Mexico. Howdy, would-be farmer. Hope you're well, mate.
Well,
nice part of the world. John says, evening, everyone. Hope you're well. Yeah, absolutely, John. Thanks very much, and hope you're all well too, mate.
yeah, John.
Gary talking to Ian. Ian talking about the Gary. Evening, Pete says, Wayne.
Evening, Wayne.
Andrew says, Tony, Roly, and Peter. Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Bia says, Roly's got a shirt on. I'm feeling underdressed. Holly says, hi, Tony and everyone. What a fantastic result for the Toon against Villa, and what a fantastic debut for Tonali. And at the top of the table, absolutely, we're top of the table. You know what? So Bobby Robson will be looking down from heaven and seeing that two of his teams are top of the table. Newcastle top of the Premier League, Ipswich top of the Championship. You know, he'll be a very happy man indeed. Lee says, evening, Tony, Roly, and Pete, get in there. The mighty Toon Army. Happy days, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Didn't like what Floop and Fergie said about like Davies. I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, absolutely stupidity what they've come out with.
Yeah.
And then for Klopp to turn around about this rule change at the technical area, and he says, well, there's only one team who's upset about it, and that's Newcastle United.
He just about it.
He just has to bring it out, and then all the media laughed, and he says, I am sorry, I shouldn't be saying stuff like this, should I really? And I thought, well, why say it in the first place then, you idiot?
Yeah.
You know, what an absolute bellend he is. Matt says, good day, Tony, Roly, Pete and Chatters. Good day to you, Matt. Hope you're well.
You well, Matt?
Mason says, Pete's background looks different. Yes, he's got a studio background, Mason. It's making its debut.
I thought it was time for a change.
Nothing wrong with a change for the better, Pete.
Oh, no. At least the Newcastle badge is still there.
Change is as good as a rest, they say.
Absolutely. Gary says, funny that everyone said Tonali will need time. He played like it was a practice match. Yeah, he did, didn't he? Would-be format, it's because you're class, Mr. T. Admit it. Oh, thanks very much, would-be. Hayden's interest from Southampton, I'm hearing, says, Bia.
That's good.
Okay, that's not bad. I think you'd take it as well. Lee says, nice one, Tony, mate, 1,000. Thank you very much, Lee.
So Southampton have lost midfielders. They're losing Lavia, they've lost Ward-Prowse. So they're fitting well down there.
Yeah. And Andrew says, Klopp will want a big payoff to pay off his massive horse dental bill. Oliver says, let's hope the rumours are true and Salah and Alisson go to Saudi. What would that be the end of Klopp? Because we will have no ceiling. Oh, that man's an idiot. Go on, England women team. Show Southgate what you can do. Absolutely. Gary says, evening, Peter.
Evening, Gary.
Julie says, good afternoon. Tony, Roly and Pete. Oh, wherever you are, Julie, it must be good afternoon for you, but it's good evening for us. Andrew says, Fergie's always been on the wind-up. Ignore him. Big Alky. Dial him. Do you know what it is? It's, yeah. I mean, look, we've got to look. He was the most successful manager in English football, but he's just got to be, he just needs to read his comments in a bit.
I just wonder if that brain trouble he had a few years back might be affecting him. He had that aneurysm, didn't he, when he almost died a few years back?
I think he had something, didn't he?
It was a hemorrhage or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder whether that's affecting his cognitive his memory and his functions properly, because
maybe
you didn't. I mean, a blind man could see that we were all over Villa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. They had their chances, Villa, but they didn't put the ball in the net. Mason
Well,
says,
good shot.
Pete's got Everton colours. Is he Everton as well?
Oh, Jesus, God, no.
Oh, come on, Mason. That's your gaffer, mate. It would be pharmacist. I looked up Klopp in my old German dictionary and it translates directly to wank. Love it, would be farmer. Love it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, brilliant. Gary says, Pete, why have you got a PI of Brad Pitt behind you?
What? It don't look like Brad Pitt.
Julie says, Klopp the clown.
Yep.
Predator says, evening, Tony, Roly, and Pete, all in the chat. Good evening to you, Predator. Hope you're well.
Evening, Predator.
God, well, I'm trying to work out where this Brad Pitt is. I can't see him. Clocky says, hi guys. Hi Clocky, hope you're well.
It's the picture the other side from the Newcastle crest.
Pete's picture, yeah.
The cartoon version of me, which now looks nothing like Brad Pitt at all.
Julie says, mistype, sorry, I know it's even... Well, I didn't know Julie might have been in America for all I know. So that's why you might have said good afternoon. But Tanji says, good evening. Good evening, Tanji. Yeah,
Tangi?
exactly. Klopp is a massive toothed wankstein, says Predator.
Oh, Jesus.
Wayne says, did you see that challenge from Man U keeper and the Wolves player? I didn't see the game, but I have seen the highlights. And
Oh, God almighty.
that was a penalty all day. And these
Penalty
officials
all
have been taken off
day.
Saturday.
And so they should.
What?
But it's not enough, though.
It's not. It's about time this got sorted out. And it's funny how it's Michael Salisbury again with VAR. He done us over against Crystal Palace. I'll never forget him. But it was Lee Mason who probably hung him out to dry, and that did defend him a little bit. But yeah, that was a penalty all day, though. Archer says, good evening, lads. Peter, bro, is your voice still working after Saturday win? Anyway, who do you think will be the next to do the job? Do we think a left back? Yeah, we're going to come on to the transfers in a moment.
And I tell you, my voice was gone after the game. I can tell you that.
If we just go back to that penalty for Wolves, in rugby, that would have been a penalty. You can't just take someone out like that. It's just if he was near the ball, fair enough, but he was nowhere near it. He was so late on his run. The ball had gone by the time he clattered into the Wolves player, so it's got to be a penalty.
Tanji says, oh no, I thought you was playing American football. Probably did, yeah. Andrew DB says, so does that make him a Scouse Clupper? BS says, no, it's more the Jody than Tom Cruise. A German Scouse Clupper. No, on Pitt, not Brad, says Andrew. Lee says, I'm going to put a tenner around for Barnes to have 15 goals by Christmas.
Ooh, interesting.
That is interesting, Lee. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
Let me know what the odds are. Klopp, a large teeth, small. Yeah, okay. We get the gist. They should be sacked, says he, and those officials. Yeah, there should be, absolutely. Howard Webb and company were in the hospitality at Old Trafford last night. Well, yeah, it's his favourite place. Purely fixed VAR. Well, it is to protect the Big Six. Corruption's already started again.
It has.
I mean, look, Pete, I'm just going to quickly touch on Saturday's game. I mean, you were obviously, you went there.
Oh, yeah.
So what unfolded in front? I mean, look, we went ahead. Then the equaliser, Diaby. I mean, look, Gordon had a great game.
Yep.
I thought Gordon was fantastic. I thought Isak was brilliant. I thought everybody was brilliant. I mean, look, Isak should have had a hat-trick. Callum Wilson should have had 2 goals. Callum Wilson knows he should have had 2 goals because he was disappointed when it got saved. And you could see it on Callum Wilson's face. He was like gutted. Well, hang on, I should have scored that there. I think Isak probably looks back at that and thinks maybe he should have lifted it. I mean, we could have demolished them by about 7 or 8, and it wouldn't have been a bad score.
Tonali had a chance to get 2 as well.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Saved off Martinez, yeah. I mean, look, me and Roly both had the same scoreline 2-1, like a lot of people did. We thought it was going to be a close game. Now, does Tyrone Mings' injury, did that play a part? I'm not so sure it did. Yes, it might have knocked their confidence. I have seen some Villa fans having a go at Diaby because they are disgusted that he didn't stop play when Mings was on the ground. And they said now that he's out for a long time, Diaby should have kicked that ball out of play instead of carrying on.
Wouldn't have made any difference. Wouldn't have made any difference.
Some Villa fans are on his back already.
I mean, it's one of those things that he went down under the challenge. They got the ball, and they're still concentrating on the game. They didn't know straight away that how badly he was injured. You can't blame Diaby for him being out for a long time, because that injury, if they stop the game, he's still just going to be out for pretty much the season.
Yeah.
I think the sort of part of it is that they're trying to escape. They're looking for a scapegoat because they were shy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
the ball out of play. But the people they should be having a go at is the Villa physios and stuff, because when the game did stop, they took forever to come out.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Pete, what was your thoughts on that game on Saturday? Because, like I say, we've just started off as we mean to go on. I mean, look, 5 past Villa. Nobody expected that, did they?
Well, let's start it off before getting in the ground. It was great to be back at St James's Park. Had to queue for a bit just to get through the turnstiles, which was a bit of a nightmare. So I had about just under 10 minutes to get my seat before the game kicked off, because the queues were chaotic with the whole new ticketing system as well. But the display before the game was incredible. The war flags, the flames from the East Stand and the Milburn Stand was just incredible to watch as well. The players came out and kick off. Great to take the lead within about 6 minutes. Great cross from Anthony Gordon for Tonali for just to come racing in to get his boot on that. So that was a great start we made to the game.
Tonali there.
There he is. Yes, we gifted them the equaliser, which I was very disappointed with. I knew Diaby would score. Villa were going to score in the game. So I was a little bit gutted. But you know what? The main thing is we made sure we got ourselves going again. And we win the free kick. Instead of Kieran Trippier going in the box, he decided to give it short to Tonali for then him to get the ball in, for Botman to stretch out to find Isak. Good finish. Check for offside at first, but no, there wasn't. And yes, Tyrone Mings, do you know what? I think it did change for them a bit, because I think Mings has actually improved under Emery, in my opinion. I think he has. And for him to lose him, he comes off, and that Pau Torres comes on. And then for Villa started to look, particularly the started to look so wide open at the back. And that was the problem. So I think losing Mings was a massive blow for them. It really, really was. Credit for Mings saying that about the support, not just from Villa, but from us as well, when he got the injury as well. It looks a very poor one.
Yeah.
And I think Villa fans and Unai have feared the worst there for that as well. So 10 minutes of stoppage time there was in that first half because of the injury. I've got to say the referee was abysmal, Andy Madley. I mean,
it got worse as the game went on.
I mean, the free kick just before the whistle blew, the free kick, and he just blows a whistle, which I didn't understand that at all. The second half, I thought, right, this is where we need to make sure we get another goal, and that is exactly what we did. Good through ball by Gordon, and Isak forcing Konsa into a mistake, which was great. Now, Isak could have he probably could have done this. He probably could have just put his foot through the ball. But I think he decided, no, I'm going to be a little bit more clever here, which worked fantastically. I'm going to lift the ball over Martinez, and it's going to be difficult for Torres to clear it off the line. Because I think if he put his foot through that, then that might have had Torres come back to clear off the line. So he thought, right, I'm going to lift this into the back of the net instead. And it worked fantastically well, I thought, as well.
Yeah.
Very unluckily, not to get a hat-trick. He had a chance, but he also had another chance, possibly before that as well. Miggy, it's a good ball in the box, but what I think Miggy did wrong was cross it. He could have rolled it across, and I think Isak would have got on the end of that one before he scored his second. And the one where Martinez saved, it was good. But you know what? I think we'll see a hat-trick from Isak at one point. We have a fully fit Isak on his game. Yeah. He's going to look frightening. And anything's right. We need to try to get a bit of fresh legs on. Take Gordon off, take Isak off. Bring Harvey Barnes and Callum Wilson on. Harvey Barnes, exceptional. No wonder people still asking, why sell ASM to bring Harvey Barnes in? There's your answer. Yeah. Harvey Barnes coming off the bench and scored, but a nice pass across to find Callum Wilson, who just needs to roll it across the box there, Harvey Barnes, for Wilson, and making that Callum Wilson score in the first game of the season for the fourth time in a row, which is really, really great. And great to get the fifth. Nice bit of skill by Murphy, and a nice pass for Barnes, and he does the rest. Got a leg onto him, Martinez, but it wasn't enough to stay it out. Newcastle win the game 5-1. What a day it has been. And first game of the season, we're sitting top of the table.
The thing is, though, Pete, I mean, look, I thought the ref was abysmal. I mean, it was just... He was just absolutely awful, and when I saw the referee Andy Madley anyway, I wasn't happy and I wasn't convinced by him anyway, and I've never have been. He's a shocking referee, and he's not fit to referee. Let's be honest. I mean, look, what was annoying me more, and I was getting really frustrated through the first half, and. You know, I was close to throwing something at the bloody TV, to be honest with you, because the guy was just pissing me off. And that was Matty Cash. How on earth he kept fouling Gordon. And I thought, well, hang on. That's 3 times he's fouled Gordon now. Where's the yellow card? Again, another foul in the first half on Gordon. No yellow card. I'm like, for fuck's sake. Bloody get a yellow card out, will you? Eventually, in the second half, he got a yellow card, and I thought, my God, what the hell is the matter with this referee? I mean, Matty Cash is one of the most annoying players. I'm sorry, he is. He was really pissing me off that day, Matty Cash was. So was John McGinn. He's another arse. He is another arsehole, let's be honest. Another one that thinks he's better than everybody else, but he's not. But yeah, I mean, what was your thoughts on the Matty Cash thing? I mean, how many fouls he made and he got away with it though, Pete?
Yeah, there was too many. I thought he should have been booked earlier on in the game. But he didn't do himself any favours when he absolutely blazed one over the bar as well.
Oh, didn't he just? I mean, look, it was absolutely madness, that. I mean, because I thought, when that comes to him now, he's going to connect with that, and that's going to be in the back of the net.
The other thing I didn't mention was the Martinez challenge on Miggy.
Oh, God, that was horrendous.
Now, I was thinking red at first, but I've seen it back. I think they did get the yellow correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the defender.
Yep.
But what annoys me, Peter, is right about this, right? I think something needs to be done about this rule because, right, okay, you've got a defender covering, but it's the intent to go out there and deliberately take that player out. That's premeditated. That should be a red card automatically. Now, I know some people might not agree with what I'm going to say here, but and it's not just because it's Newcastle. I think any team's goalkeeper. If you're a goalkeeper, you're going to come out your area deliberately to go and take that player out so he doesn't get a chance of either getting that ball in the box for somebody to score or having a scoring chance himself. I think you should walk. I really do. I mean, look, this is twice we've had this against us. The last time was at the Amex Stadium when Eddie Howe came as to look when he was going to be presented as manager, and he watched our game. And Robert Sanchez came out the box and took out Callum Wilson. Fair enough, he got a red card because there was nobody covering him.
It was a goal scored
But
opportunity.
do you not think, though, Pete, if a goalkeeper comes out like that, not only should there be a red card, do you think that should automatically be a penalty as well? Because, yes, I know it's outside the box, but it's the way they're going out to do it. And then Martinez had the cheek to then give Almiron a little tap on the face as well and smell. And I thought, you know what? I just can't stand that bloke. I really can't. He thinks because he's a World Cup winning goalkeeper, he's untouchable, but he's not.
No. Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it?
I think the problem we've got with the interpretation of that, to the letter of the law, that's about the only thing he got right in the game. But it should be normally when a keeper takes, like that Brighton example, it's not really a good one because when Sanchez brings down Wilson, there's an open goal. Most of the time, when a player takes another player down, there's still the goalkeeper in goal. But when the goalkeeper comes out and does that, if Miggy he hadn't done that and he's out of position, though there was a defender back, he's not allowed to use his hands. So you only have to put it a yard either side, and he doesn't stop it. If he does, he's getting sent off and you get a penalty. Yeah. Now, if he's not one-on-one with a goalkeeper, he's one-on-one with a defender. So it's much easier to score against a defender than it is a goalkeeper. So that should be factored in, which should have really. That's why it should be a red card. I mean, especially with his attempt was to take Miggy out. Right, he didn't sort of like cut him in half. He's just dragged him back to take him down. He had no intent on playing the ball. All he was going to do was take him out.
Yep.
But it's the intent, Roly. It's
the
intent
I know. That's
of going out to do it.
Yeah. But they say because it's the goalkeeper, doesn't do that. There's a higher probability of Miggy scoring than if it was a defender doing that, and he still got the goalkeeper to beat. And yet, if the defender took him out and he had the goalkeeper to beat, he'd get a red card. Now you got a striker, a forward player, one-on-one with a defender, and you'd expect sort of like 99 times out of 100 that he's going to score. So that's probably more worthy of a red card than with a defender. I think they need to look at I think when they made that rule, they didn't think about goalkeepers doing that and having a defender as covering, and how much easier it is to a defender than it's a goalkeeper. And I think that should be factored in to make it a red.
I mean, Gary's saying there, can you imagine how many Premier League managers have watched us and thought, holy shit. I mean, look, ahead of Saturday, we've got a boost, right? Okay, we know Kevin De Bruyne is missing for Manchester City. He's out for at least 3 to 4 months with this hamstring problem. Now then, the thing is, with him being out, obviously, he's going to be a big... yes, we can look at City and say, oh yeah, but they've got other players. They ain't got more than one Kevin De Bruyne in the side. They've only got one Kevin De Bruyne who can do it. He's marvellous with a football in his foot. Let's be honest. He can ping a ball. He can dictate play. Now, he's not available on Saturday, so that's a big plus. But the thing is, Man City beat Burnley, okay. They brushed Burnley 3-0. But this is a totally different game. And it's a totally different team to who they faced against Burnley, And I think this is going to be a great game on Saturday night. I really do.
I do as well.
And it wouldn't surprise me if we actually turn Man City over. Because, let's be honest, they've got to play in this Super Cup this week. Tomorrow night. So they've got that, which one of the things is Pep's not happy about that, and then playing again on the Saturday. But he's actually also said, Pep Guardiola, he actually feels sorry for the Newcastle fans having to travel to be at an 8 p.m. game on a Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to actually feel sorry for the fans as well, he's absolutely disgusted that they've done this, the Premier League.
Yep.
But he can't dictate what the TV do, can he?
No, you
That's
can't.
the thing. Predator says, I saw Ray Charles being interviewed today. Even he said he saw it was a penalty.
Penalty all day.
The Premier League needs to decide if keepers get a special rule or if a reckless or late tackle is to be penalised like field players as would be former. Exactly. Absolutely. It's just absolutely ridiculous. El Capo says, hello lads, apparently Mr. Ed is licking the drivel off his old Scottish knob jockey with a drink problem. Mr. Ed being Klopp.
Oh.
Manure and Shea Pool run the cartel, says Andrew Wayne says, we battered Villa every blade of grass. Absolutely.
Really did.
Lee says, it will be great to see that slippy, guffy, beaver teeth Klopp get a red card. Wouldn't it just? Julie says, I really want us to batter Liverpool this season, 8-0, and see Kloppy have a meltdown. Do you know what it is, right?
Do that
I'm not being funny. I'm not impressed with Liverpool, so I tell you what, I don't think they'll enjoy coming to St James's Park because it'll be a different game from what they played last season against us.
The defending is still worrying for them by the looks of it.
Oh God!
The way Chelsea got in at times was just. And imagine if it was not VAR at times as well.
Well, they both had one ruled out.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
Well, they did. But the way I just seen Chelsea get ahead of Liverpool's defence at times was just unbelievable. It just shows Liverpool have not really improved. Midfield, okay, 2 new midfielders, but the defence is still the same pretty much.
Absolutely, Pete. It's woeful. I mean, Would-Be Farmer says, we had so many players on the score sheet. I was looking to see if Livermento had scored from the bench.
I was glad he didn't come on, actually. I thought
he would have given him a run out, yeah.
Mm.
Coffee says, hi, Tony, PD, Roly and all.
Even coffee.
Even coffee.
Hope you're well, mate. I was surprised he didn't come on. Coffee says, sour grapes from Fergie and said Villa were the best team at the weekend. They weren't that great, Villa. Sorry.
They were all over the place, apart from Diaby. Who else played well for them? Watkins, apart from one chance, he was anonymous.
Kamara's okay.
Gary says, we'll see more than one hat-trick from Isak this season, Pete.
Oh, I know why Fergie said that Villa were the best team. Because he thought they were playing in black and white.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, says, with Elise going to Chelsea, does this open the door for Chelsea to sell us Lewis Hall? We're going to talk about transfers in just one moment. David says, hi guys, hope you're well. Klopp is a bitter tit. Yes, he is. I thought if you play the man with no attempt at the ball, it was an automatic red, says Gary. Yeah, for an outfield player, but not for a keeper. It needs to be changed. So that rule does need to be changed. El Capo says Villa only had 50 to 60 minutes in their tank. They were blown up their asses after half an hour. Newcastle's fitness and strength, not to mention fast movement in the pass, Villa had no answer. Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, for that fourth goal, when Wilson scored, was Murphy's ball through to Harvey Barnes, wasn't it? I think at that time.
That was the fifth one.
The fifth goal, sorry, the fifth. But the one before that. But the fourth goal, when Harvey Barnes latched onto it and then obviously crossed it for Wilson. Pau Torres was actually at fault for that because he was too busy ball watching. If he hadn't have been ball watching in the middle of the park, he stops that going out to Harvey Barnes, who then assists Wilson. So, yeah, I mean, look, he didn't cover himself in glory, that Pau Torres. He didn't look that great, to be fair. Predator says, me, the intent was to take the man, not the ball, and the keeper knew once he'd done it, he turned around and saw the defender. He was grinning because he knew he'd only get a yellow, pure knobhead. Yeah, cheating Argentinian, that's what he is. They're all good at that, the Archies, aren't they? Would-be farmer says, as it turned out, was happy to see that Muppet Martinez's ugly mug's face, giving up 5 goals. Glad he wasn't ejected. I mean, look, he was. Look, I was wondering how many times he's going to start wasting time to see if the referee gave him a second yellow card, see if the referee had the balls to do it. But would he have had the balls? That is the thing. Right, let's get into some transfer news. Right, now, the first one I'm going to bring up is, there we are. It is Ryan Fraser. Now we know there's a lot of talk at the moment of Ryan Fraser for Celtic. Please, Celtic, please take him. Right. So a lot of talk. Brendan Rodgers at Celtic wants to take Ryan Fraser. Right. All I want to say to Celtic is, if Brendan Rodgers is watching my stream tonight, please, Brendan, I just tell you now, just at all costs, just go out and get him. You can have him. 5 million, just take him off our hands and give us 5 million, and and just pay his wages and get rid of him. The guy needs to go. He's not wanted. Yes, he's sitting around on 60 odd grand a week.
Have they actually started talking to us?
I'm not sure what the talks are, Roly, but they are saying it's very strong that Celtic do want him. Brendan Rodgers is key to get him back to Scotland. So
if we haven't started talking, all I can say is that I now believe in witchcraft, because somebody must have cast a spell on them for them to want to buy him or take him off our hands.
I mean, what's your thoughts there, Pete? I mean,
just need to get rid of him, don't we?
Yeah.
Again, he's a player that's just not got a future here anymore. What's the point of him being here? Time to get rid.
Yeah, David says, it's well just talking about beating City a few years back. I was just wondering if it's going to be 5 or 6-0. Well, if you think last year when we played down there, this was a week after the Carabao Cup final. In all honesty, I didn't think City were great that day, and I just think if we'd been up for it a bit more and had our shooting boots on, we would have beat them. So yeah, I mean, look, if Ryan Fraser, if Celtic want him, please come and take him, Celtic. I'm sorry, Ian. I know you don't want him, but it's at the end of the day, just take him, just take him, Celtic, please. We just want rid. Yes, his Diaby's goal was what he took a deflection and the blind flick on. I mean, yeah, but Almiron switched off as well for that cross. If he hadn't switched off, then that ball probably doesn't come in. But it is what it is.
Finished by Diaby. Let's not take that away from him.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's your thoughts, Roly, on the Celtic?
I hope that when they do contact us, Amanda and Dan use a Jedi mind trick and make sure he buys them. I just want him gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Coffee says, congratulations, 24,000 subscribers. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you very much, Coffee. Thank you, mate. Lee says, take Fraser. Celtic, get rid of one of that dwarf Fraser. Yeah, absolutely. Archer says, Fraser looks like he could be on his way to Celtic. It's about time he needs to go. Can Hendrick go to Sunderland? Ian says, Celtic not open talks with Newcastle, Roly.
Okay, it's a shame. Hopefully they will soon.
Bias says, yeah, I said Celtic, Fraser to Celtic a few weeks ago just to wind Ian up. Hendrick to Celtic. David says, John was talking today about a journalist comparing our owners to the Taliban. Today, lol, the salt is unbelievable. Got a laugh. I mean, look, these journalists, all they're out for is a bit of clickbait. So basically what they'll do is they'll put a story out there and they'll be on Twitter. And it'll be something about us. And you'll see the headline. They'll have some sort of seedy headline. And you think, well, I wonder what that's about. And the first thing you'll do is you'll go, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on it and have a look what the story's about. once you've opened that story and done a click on it, they've already made some money out of you because, you know, it'll be sponsored. So as soon as you open that article up, boom, if it's the Sun, the News of the World, whoever it is, they'll go, oh, hey, thanks Newcastle fans, we're making lots of cash here because you keep opening up these stories. We keep putting a CD headline and it draws you in, so you have to open up the article to read it, and then bang, they've made some money. They've got it down to a fine art, and that's exactly what they're doing. Same with the Athletic, they're another paper who does exactly the same, you know. But yeah, that's how they're doing it, and that's how they're getting away with it. And it's clever in a way. It's clever. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, another player we've been linked with, and supposedly we could be ready in a bid for him, or we have ready to bid for him, and it's this man on screen. So, that man is Benjamin Rollheiser. Now, you're probably thinking, who on earth is he? Right, let me tell you who Benjamin Rollheiser is. Okay, so he plays for Estudiantes de La Plata. That's in Argentina, by the way. He has a contract till 2025. He's 23 years of age. Now, this is where it gets interesting because he's very versatile. Now, let me go through his positions. So it may take a little while to get through his positions. Right. He can play midfield right, centre midfield, attacking midfield. He can play right wing. He can play as a striker. He can play as a left winger. So he can play in 6 different positions. There we go. Now then, he's got an outstanding strengths. His weaknesses is his finishing, as it states. Now, so the Argentinian season's already started. And this season, he started 9 games out of 9. But he scored 6 goals in those 9 games and got 2 assists. So his accurate passing per game is 81%. And his accuracy in opposition half is 75%. He's had 1 yellow card so far now. If I go back to last season's stats, and I'll just pull those stats up in just one moment. So last season he started 26 out of 27 games, got 6 goals and 3 assists and 2 yellow cards all season. He joined Estudiantes de La Plata from River Plate on a free transfer in 2022. So yeah, he joined them, and look, we've offered supposedly £10 million for him, but according to sources in Argentina, the president of that club is Juan Sebastian Veron, who used to play for Man United all those years ago and scored against us at St James's Park as well when we beat them 4-3. Right, he said 10 million's not enough. Pete, have you heard of him before?
I haven't. I've never seen him play, so as well.
Yeah. What about you, Roly?
Never heard of him.
No, I haven't either.
It sounds very
versatile. He was in the chat, and yeah, well, he's very versatile. 6 positions, Roly. Yeah, Jesus Christ, that is versatile. How much more? That's what I said. I might be a little while here getting through his, But I mean, if Foxy was in the chat, I don't know if he is, but if he was, he would no doubtly tell us about this guy. I mean, look, 6 goals in 9 games, that's a phenomenal record, isn't it, really?
Yes, that's not.
It is, actually.
It's not bad at all. I don't know anything about the Argentinian league or its strengths, so yeah, but the stats are good, but does he pass the eye test?
Well,
I don't know. I've never seen him play.
Don't know. The thing is, so
do you know who linked him?
Sorry?
Do you know who linked him with us?
I'm not sure where the links come from originally, but who knows? Maybe we are looking at him. Maybe Dan Ashworth's seen him. Maybe Steve Nixon's been out there looking at him.
Well, we know we've got. Over last season we were recruiting scouts all over the world. I'm sure that we have we're looking for players in all of South America. It's an interesting one. It's probably what's it called, one to keep an eye on. Because I think that our business for the remainder of the window is likely to be defensive.
Yeah. Gary says if we won every game this season 5-1, Fergie would say we were lucky. Do you know what, Gary? You're right. He probably would. Probably say, Tackett would probably say, yeah, they were lucky, yeah. I call him Tackett because that's who he thinks he is. Looks like Taggart, doesn't he? Brett says, right, please, can someone tell me what is the deal with John Sinclair's voice or accent? Every time he speaks, I have to turn it off. It sounds really weird. My ears can't handle it. He said, I don't mean that comment in any sort of horrible way. I just can't get my head around his voice. I think it's probably because he's mixing his Bristol accent with his Geordie accent, and it's a culmination of the both, I think. London media full of crap, says Mark. Absolutely, Mark.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything wrong with John's voice. It's quite a surprise that Keith Downey's become a YouTuber now. Yeah, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
But I see he's realised there's money in it. Does he play all 6 positions in the same match, Tony? Do you know what? That's a very good question, Gary. But do you know what it is, Gary? It wouldn't surprise me if he does. Because I suppose then you've got somebody you can see, oh, well, I'll throw you out in the wing, or I'll throw you in centre mid. Or you can be number 10, attacking midfielder, you know? So again, we'll find out if anything comes of it. I mean, it might not turn out to be anything. It could just be a link from somebody, probably in Argentina, and, probably trying to get him a seal, but who knows? Again, we'll just have to wait and see. It's all rumours. Archer says, for me, I think Everton are gone this season. Absolute shit. They have missed the bean as a gather. Do you know what it is, right? I want to quickly touch on this now.
So the toxic
They
fan.
are such a horrible fan base. Toxic, right? They are very toxic. I mean, look, I'll come to you, Pete. Neil Maupay, right? He had a host of chances. The keeper made a few great saves from him. Burnt Leno kept Fulham in that game. If it wasn't for Burnt Leno, Fulham wouldn't have won that game, in all honesty. He made a few good saves from Maupay. Maupay missed a few chances. But as a striker, you're going to keep hitting them. You're going to hit them. And sometimes one day you'll play and they'll not come off for you. You'll play the next game and you'll go out and score a bloody hat-trick, because that's how it happens. But the Everton fans were really bad to him online, and he's received a lot of threats and derogatory comments about him because he missed a host of chances which cost Everton the game. What's your thoughts, Pete? Pete, on that one.
The chances he had, he should be trying to at least score at least one of those. He didn't. I think that's his down problem. He doesn't score enough goals. That's the problem. He misses a load of chances. But in terms of the abuse, there's just no need for it. In terms of personal abuse, I think I remember what one of the comments said, but I'm not going to say what it is, because it was absolutely abhorrent, of utter filth. And people will say, why else will people say Everton's a great club with a great fan base? Well, sorry, not with comments like that.
Mm-hmm. They're a disgrace, aren't they, Pete? What do you think, Roly, about it?
Well, it's no wonder. I mean, it just goes to show why Anthony Gordon couldn't wait to get out of that club. That's just appalling. Now, if he didn't, the thing that missed is that he actually got into situations to score. And what they always, if you're not in positions to score, you can't score. The keeper made some saves, he fluffed his lines. There'll be games, well, there might be games where he has one shot and scores.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what they're going to do, I mean, now that they're giving him all this dog's abuse, do you expect him to really put his full effort in for the fans? Because I wouldn't.
Well,
I'd be wanting to get out of there.
Yeah. It's just
toxic club.
It is absolutely, Roly. It's just a bad club.
And I thought I wanted them to go down before the game on Saturday. I want them to go down even more now, which I didn't think was possible.
Yeah. Would-be farmer says, I'm embarrassed to report that my mother is a Ferguson. She no longer admits it, though. What positions do we need to strengthen next, says Coffee. Well, Coffee, I mean, look, we're looking for a right-sided centre-back. There's no, that's the worst-kept secret going. We also need a left-back as well, in all honesty. So, again, I think that's where they're looking at the strengthening. And I would say maybe get another forward in as well, because if we lose one of Isak or Wilson, then who's going to really take over that role? So, yeah, I think definitely another striker. But again, as Darren Neal said last week, we are still remain open for business. And if the right player comes along at the right price, Newcastle will be there to do the deal. So if anybody thinks we're done in the transfer window, far from done by the sounds of things. And Eddie wants more signings as well. So watch this space, as I say. Predator says, that's what I thought, Tony. I couldn't work out which accents were mixed. And I didn't mean it derogatory in any way because I like the bloke, but thanks for clearing up. No, that's fine. No, John's a lovely guy. Yeah, absolutely. No, not at all. And that's fine, mate. Coffee says, considering how Gordon won player of the tournament in Euros and how well he's playing now, Gordon would have been a star at Everton. Do you know what it is, Coffee? He would have been. But the problem is, and like I said this, when he left Everton and came to Newcastle, I said, the coaching. It's down to the coaching. And the coaching staff of Frank Lampard are not great coaches. They are not. They are clowns. Like Frank Lampard. He is a clown. He's not a Premier League manager. And he never will be a Premier League manager. So Anthony Gordon is at Newcastle getting proper coaching. That is the thing. And, he's played the Euros. They reckon Eddie Howe wanted him to have longer than 7 days off. And he said, no, I want to be back. And Eddie Howe said, well, I think you should take at least 2 weeks off. And he went, no, I'll have 7 days and that's it. And then I'm coming back. So I say, well done to the lad for saying, Eddie Howe, look, sorry, I know you might want me having an extended break, but I want to be back. Apparently he wanted to come back straight after the England games. And Eddie Howe said, no, you must have a holiday. And he said, well, I want to come back. I mean, look, that's the measure of the guy. That's the measure of the guy. And for him to actually admit when he was on international duty as well that he was blown in games and he was getting tired because he's not used to the pressure of the intensity side of the game. But you saw that performance on Saturday and he looked bloody good on Saturday, didn't he, Pete?
He did. He absolutely did. The way he was come back to defend and the cross he put in for Tonali to get on the end of there was exceptional.
Yeah. Sorry, Roly, were you going to say something there?
That just shows how committed he is to the cause.
Mm-hmm.
That he's prepared to forego time off to get back into training.
Yeah, absolutely. Wayne says Tonali is versatile. He was all over the pitch against Villa. We have one hell of a player in our hands. Do you know what it is, Wayne? You're absolutely spot on. I mean, look,
we certainly do.
Tonali was everywhere. I mean, this guy was everywhere. 55 million pound now looks a snip. And not only when he took his goal, but if you look at his celebration, doesn't want to beat Newcastle, does he? Well, not by that celebration, he doesn't. Of course he does. I mean, look, we saw the celebration. He was absolutely ecstatic. you know, he celebrated with Gordon at first because it was Gordon's pass that led to his goal.
Did
But if you look at him,
did you see the tweet that the club put out?
Yes, I did see that.
yeah,
The picture of celebrating his goal, and the caption above it is "Bro doesn't want to be here."
yes.
Yes.
But I mean, I think it was like one of the comments that we had on Saturday after the game. They said the way he arrived in the box late was like Gary Speed would have done when he scored the goal. Because if you remember, with Gary Speed, when a corner used to come in, he used to arrive in late and get his head on it and in the back of the net.
Yep.
And Speed was very good for that as well. What a player Gary Speed was, what he turned out to be. Because at first he didn't look great, but but he turned into be a great player for us. And a fantastic guy was Gary Speed. Such a shame, Right, where are we in comments? Everton won't be lucky to escape this season. Well, let's hope when they have their hearing in October, they get a points deduction. I've got them, Luton and Sheffield United to go down. That's just after one game. I mean, look, the Luton manager admitted after the game his team made a few mistakes in defence. And he says, but they learned from that. He says, we have to get that sorted out. And do you know what it is? I know we're all saying Luton will probably go down, but it wouldn't surprise me if they had stayed up, to be honest with you. Because, you don't, that's the thing though, you don't know, Roly. These teams could just all of a sudden roll their sleeves up and get a few tight results. And if Luton went on a run and won, say, 3 or 4 games and won them 1-0 or 2-1, I don't think they care as long as they were winning games. You don't know, Roly. And
I know.
At the end of the day,
I don't know.
Just have to see how.
Unless they were just. I mean, what's the game against Brighton? And I mean, all the teams that got promoted in their first games were very slow in their reaction times and spotting and their awareness of what the other side were doing. Burnley caused Man City some problems, but Sheffield United and Luton rarely troubled their opponents. And they're going to have to improve a hell of a lot if they're going to survive in this division, because it's brutal. You make the sort of mistakes they were making, and you get punished. Where in the Championship they could get away with that. You can't in the Premier League, and I do worry for. I think
Ray Hodgson was going to do a party on Max Lowe.
Oh, yes.
When Max Lowe went in to get the ball, and Hodgson's face, he weren't happy, was he?
No. Yeah, but it's going to be. I mean, I think of the teams that have come up, I think Burnley are the ones that are most equipped to stay up. I think Luton. I think the squad that they brought up was. I think they got through on endeavour rather than ability, but fair play for them. Sheffield United have sold their 2 best players. So I fear for them, but they both look bad. So unless something changes rapidly, I don't see much hope for either of them staying up.
Yeah, would be pharmacy. It's better to try and get a striker now if possible, because if Isak or Wilson gets injured, the price goes up for a transfer. Yeah, that's a good point. That would be absolutely.
Well, I don't think we'll be getting a new striker, because at the moment, obviously, we've got Isak and Wilson, and Anthony Gordon can cover them in up the middle if need be. That's how I see it. I can't see us getting a forward player in the remainder of the window unless someone exceptional comes around.
Gary says, yeah. Word is Eddie's focusing on the left back with the idea of putting Big Dan back as a centre back. Could be. Predator says rather sell Target and bring in a new left back and rotate them with Burn there. Hopefully bring in a pacey centre back. We need a pacey centre back. We could do a one. Tanji says Rangers have made it through the Champions League qualifier. Oh, thank you very much for that. Wayne says we're looking at Tierney. Hopefully we get him. don't want Cucurella, and there's another player from Chelsea, can't remember his name though, Lewis Hall.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, Cucurella, I don't really want him, to be honest with you. Mason says he's mixing his Bristol Geordie and Manc accent. Some predictions for Guy Saturday, I think 2-2, says David. That's not a bad shout. Mason says, I'm taking the Mickey on the Manc accent. Our new players, as you say, money spent, well, we worth the money, absolutely. Zanji says, why does the public think that everybody and anybody should be smelling 24/7? Well, that's the thing. I mean, look, Livermento came at the ground and wasn't smelling. Does that mean to say, does want to be there? No, don't be daft. Predator says, R.I.P. Gary Speed, never forgotten and always remembered. Absolutely. What a legend. I thought there was more than two, but I just couldn't work out the accents. He's talking to Mason. R.I.P. Gary Speed, says Tanji. Top bloke on and off the pitch, absolutely.
So the thing about Tonali and Smiling, if you Google Sandro Tonali and look at images, you can see him holding an AC Milan.
Yeah, the Milan shirt.
The team he supported as a kid. And he's not smiling there either.
Predator's just said there hasn't Luton just brought in Tim Krull. Have they?
I think there were.
There's talks of it.
There may have been talks going on, but I don't know if they've signed him yet.
Predator says, I'll be right back. Just got a phone hour lass, I shall chop me balls off. Yeah, you don't know your ballers, do you? Paula Galatina says,
Okay.
We beat Man City 2-0. Hendrick and Fraser score. Lavia to Chelsea just got on. Here we go. Do you know what was funny though, right? I mean, look, it was funny because first of all, Liverpool agree a fee of £115 million to sign Moses Caicedo from Brighton. Moises Caicedo then turns around to Liverpool and says, sorry, don't want to go there. I want to sign for Chelsea. So that happens. Next thing comes in, Liverpool have bid accepted for Lavia, Romeo Lavia from Southampton. Lavia then says, I don't want to go to Liverpool. I want to join Chelsea. Hang on a minute. What is going on? Why are these players in Britain don't want to go to Liverpool for? But you get the likes of Zabos like, I'll sign for Liverpool because, great club, great tradition. Yeah, because you're not playing in the Premier League. After a season, Zabos may think, Jesus, I want out of here. Strange, isn't it, Pete?
Certainly is, isn't it?
Oh, it's hilarious.
I mean, just to see that happen was just like, oh, God.
I've got red friends here. Obviously, I'm in Merseyside. I've got a lot of red friends, and they're moaning about Fenway Sports Group, their owners, not spending money. Then they getting it bid for 111 accepted, and they think, oh, great, they spent some money, and then the player doesn't want to go.
Got Sabozlai for about 70 odd, didn't they? They got McAllister for around about 40 odd million. And they saying they're not spending money.
Gary says Lewis Hall hasn't signed a new contract because he heard we want him. Coffee says, imagine if Chelsea and Liverpool fail to qualify for Europe.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Troll says, hi, Tony, Roly and PD. Hi, Trolls. Hope you're well, mate. I mean, yeah, look, we're going to go on to the next player. And yes, we are going to bring up, there he is, Lewis Hall. So, Lewis Hall, Chelsea player. Right. 18 years of age. He can play in 6 different positions, believe it or not. Right, let me go through what he can play in. Left back, centre back, defensive midfield, midfield left, midfield right, midfield centre. Right, so there you are. So he's a very versatile player. So if you wanted to use him as a centre half, you can go in as centre half as well. I mean, look, he's an up and coming talent. We know that. Last season, he only started 8 out of 9 games. But, and got 1 yellow card. There is talks that we're apparently preparing a £30 million bid to buy him. I mean, look, I'll start with you, Roly. How much would you pay for Lewis Hall? But do you think 30 million's fair enough?
30 million, you're paying for the potential.
He
Like
has got 3 years left on his contract, by the way.
like we did with Livramento, we paid for the potential, and he was one of the better players at Chelsea last season.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the performances. He's still young, still eminently coachable. When you look at the market, I mean, how old's Casado? Is he 20?
Who's that?
Casado, is he 20?
I think so, yeah. Caicedo, yeah.
Yeah. And then Lavia is 19. And look at the money they've gone for. So 30 doesn't. I probably want to pay a little bit less, but when you look, he's got 3 years left on his contract, and he's got that. He's got the ability and the potential. I mean,
Yeah.
he played quite a few games last season for Chelsea, and in many cases looked like the best player on the pitch for them. I know Chelsea were particularly bad last season. There's obviously potential there, and if 30 million is a deal that we can do and want to do, I'd be all for it.
Yeah. What about you, Pete?
He's a very talented lad. I mean, what happened with the move going to Palace? Did that? Because there was talk of him going to Palace as well.
I think
There
Chelsea
was
was
on loan.
because they wanted him on loan, but I think what might be happening, because they've triggered Elise's release clause, they want to shift another player. I mean, that's how they're being able to spend so much now, is that they've sold in excess of 200 million players worth of players. So as you amortize the sales they've got now, they're actually in profit from transfer fees with what they've have to pay from the previous contracts and what they've got now. Now the 200 million covers what they have their transfer outlay for this year, with a little bit left over. Now, if they want to spend in January, which I'm sure they will do, because boy, does Todd Bowley like spending his dollars. He likes spending money. They're going to have to sell some players. And I think that if we were to, I wouldn't be surprised if a bid of around 30 would get him. But it's a case of how we do the FFP on our side, where it's a little bit tighter. But again,
we don't know. Well, the way Darren Neils is talking about signings, I mean, I don't think we're that bad on FFP. I think we got quite a good ceiling, and I think we're just stringing the media along.
I think selling ASM gets us a lot more wiggle room, but we're still, because we haven't really got much in the way of saleable assets, FFP will catch up with us if we can't increase our commercial income, which we're doing. And the problem we have with increasing our commercial income is that whenever we do it, everybody moans and says, "Oh, it's not fair market value," which is why I think things like the Solar deal, I think that was deliberately low. So when the other clubs complain, which they're bound to do, they can't. The Premier League won't do anything because they know that actually, if anything, it's undervalue. I think they've been actually quite clever with that. Obviously, we removed Fun 88 from the front of the shirt, but we still kept them within the fold of our commercial revenue. So
this is interesting, Roly and Pete. Manchester City are waiting for bids from anybody for Aymeric Laporte or João Cancelo. Barcelona are thought to be readying an official offer for Cancelo. Do you know what? if there was a chance of us going in for Laporte, I would say absolutely snap him up at a drop of a hat. He is a terrific defender.
The wages is going to be a problem. The wages will be
Maguire staying at Man United, by the way. The West Ham deals fell through now. He's staying,
I've heard about
at Man United.
Yeah. Apparently, it was due to payments that he wanted off Man United, and they refused to pay, or were refusing to pay, and West Ham just got pissed off of waiting.
Obviously, we know Neymar is going to Al Hilal, and he will be earning. He's earning a little bit of money each year, 129.4 million per year.
How's he going to make ends meet? I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be really hard for him, isn't it?
That's 6 times what he's on at PSG.
He's going to have to make sure that he turns all the lights off, isn't he?
Now Chelsea are back in the market again, the transfer market now.
Oh, who for this time?
They now want a backup goalkeeper after Kepa went to Real Madrid on loan.
Mm-hmm.
Union Berlin have completed the signing of a defender that we were previously linked with, Robin Gosens, the German.
Okay.
But he's too injury prone. Mason's just put this up, and it's interesting. He says Celtic want Daniel Podence from Wolves. He's only got a year left on his contract and wasn't in the squad last night. So again,
no, he wasn't.
He's the winger for Wolves. Do you know what? I could see that happening. Ian's asking Mason who he is. El Capo says, how? Where, Brendan, you will win the ping pong championship with the world, i.e. a top of Northern League player. You can cherry pick that, the twat for now. Lovely, love it. Troll says, Hall's 30 million is way too much, rather 20 plus 5 add-ons. Tanji says, Lewis Hall makes more sense because Cucurella and Tierney on higher wages. I know Cucurella's on 175k a week. Wayne says, hi, Tony, that's the Chelsea player. Looks good, like on his stats. Yeah, they do. Gary says, yeah, all true, Tony. £30 million bid. But he wants to come here. Chelsea want him to sign, but he's hanging back. Interesting. Yeah, that's the Wolves. Not sure, Trolls. Yeah, he's a winger, Ian, for Wolves. He's 27. They reckon Wolves would accept about 12 million quid for him, so there you go. Save yourself, PD. There's an earthquake where you are, it seems.
I didn't know. I was thinking me right leg. Doodling me right leg.
El Capo says, I'd go and pick up Lewis Hall. The Benz. At least he's good. Great future. We should have him miss at any cost. Yeah, absolutely. We need 2 more, says Joe Linton. Minimum centre back and left back. Foxy's in the chat. All looked decent last season, but not sure how they can justify 30 million on 8 Premier League starts. Lol, absolutely, Foxy. Right, Foxy, you're in the chat. Thank you for your kind message yesterday, congratulating me on 1,000 subscribers. Right, Foxy. I need your thoughts in chat, please, and just let everybody else know. Now, what's your thoughts on Benjamin Rolheiser of Estudiantes de la Plata? Benjamin Rolheiser. Apparently, we're after him. Let me know, Foxy, how good is he, and how much do you think he would cost? So we'll see if Foxy comes back with something. Josie was bumping up and down, that's all, PD. Chelsea have spent nearly 900 million. This is frigging disgraceful. Need to sort it out, says Wayne. Apparently they're getting close to that FFP limit.
Partly so, because it's getting investigated under Abramovich's time as well, isn't it?
I don't think that actually, because of the way that they do the transfers for FFP, because they sold 200 million. Over 200 million. I don't think they're going anywhere close because that 200 million comes off straight away. And then the money they paid now is spread over 5 years. So they could probably actually buy a couple more £100 million players and still not be close because of the players they sold. But the problem comes further down the line if they run out of players to sell. And if they
Predator
don't
says
qualify for the Champions League as well.
Yeah, Predator says I'm okay. I'm back. Balls are intact. That's good to hear. Yeah, always keep your balls intact, mate. Never know when you need them. Troll says Cancelo will be better, to be honest. Joe Litton says if we're a Champions League club, we need to pay Champions League wages. Well, yeah, but we've got to be careful with FFP.
Yeah.
The way Man U played, Harry Maguire walks in that midfield, says Bia. Troll says Cancelo would be better than Laporte. Yeah, that's interesting. Julie says, I can imagine Maguire sitting down the middle of the Man U training pitch singing, I shall not be moved. Chelsea must have Al Capone's bookkeeper, says would-be farmer. I believe we can challenge for the league this season, says Joe Linton. We shall see. Evening all, says Jody. Good evening, Jody. Hope you're well, mate. Not seen you for a while. Hope you keep them well. Bloody Chelsea have more players in the Japanese sweatshop.
Oh, oh God.
Foxy says Cancelo would be my last choice, although great attacking, he's defensively awful. Falls out with every club he plays for, massive fee and wages.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% keen. I'd rather have Laporte, in all honesty. Bias says Crystal Palace are in dispute with Chelsea about tapping up, talking to players without permission. This is why the whole deal is stalled. Jody says, I think we need an extra striker. I'm not happy with only having Isak Milson going into a long, hard season. Despite that, what House says about Gordon being able to play there as well. Yeah, I totally agree, mate.
Yeah, well, we won't be getting one. I don't believe we'll be getting a striker. Not until the summer.
Bias says, apparently Ferguson fell asleep at half time watching us play in Villa.
Well, he does
Julie
need
says, I think.
time.
Julie says, I think Ten Hag will have to throw Maguire out. Man U don't want him and he won't leave.
Maybe it could be the Man United's version of Ryan Fraser.
Moses can go to Sunderland, aka Jeff Hendrick. I think we will finish second this season, says Archer.
Why not?
Julie says strikers cost a lot more money. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
There are clubs in the Champions League that don't pay high wages, says Tanji. Club Brugge, Feyenoord, Ajax, PSV, Rangers, Celtic, many more. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's only sort of like the English, the top French sides, or rather PSG, and the Spanish that pay the really big, and to spoke the Germans pay the really big fees.
Yeah,
really big wages. Italian football is relatively broke. It's not like it was in the 90s. And that's one of the reasons that we could get Tonali. We're able to bring him in, pretty much double his wages, and he's still well within our pay structure.
Yeah. Troll says, apparently Ferguson thought he was watching us in Villa. Turned out it was a local Scottish match. Julie says exactly that, Roly. Joe Litton says the clubs who don't pay a lot in their wages in Champions League don't win it. Yeah. Fergie only trying to provoke, says Julie as well. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see if Foxy's going to come back about Benjamin Rollheiser to see what he says about him. But, I mean, look, we're going to be linked with lots of players. Oh, hang on. Foxy's just come in. There we go. Rollheiser had to leave River on a free to get first team games. It's been really impressive in recent Copa Sudamerica games, scoring, assisting pretty much every game. Surprised we are linked though, 23 now. Yeah, but could he still do it though, Foxy, for us at 23? Could he? He could still make the step up, I'm sure. Gary says, after Saturday, I'm scared I'm going to wake up and find it was all a dream. definitely not a dream, Gary. It was definitely 5-1, mate. Would be format if Isak gets hurt. Gordon is on 2-game suspension for slagging the Everton captain, and Wilson needs a rest. Big Joe isn't on a red of his own, so he can fill in for a striker. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Referees are going to target Anthony Gordon. You can see that already. Madley did on Saturday. Someone wanking that noise. Nobody's having a wank.
Oh.
God's sake. But yeah, very interesting that what you had to say, Foxy. But again, he's 23, still young enough though, isn't he, Foxy? I know they normally move a lot younger, but again, who knows? He could come over and do a job, So it's one of them. We just have to wait and see. I mean, Pete, I'm going to come to you. Troll says, maybe Bonds could play as a striker if needed as well.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. There's loads of tents outside Man U or to Maguire's holiday camp. Bias says Parkinson will be used if we're desperate for strikers, but 3 is enough. I mean, Pete, how many more signings realistically can you see coming through the door between now and the 1st of September?
I'm going to say 2. 2 more.
2? And where will they be?
Left back and centre back.
Yeah. Roly, same question for you.
It depends on what the permanent move is and how much it is. I think if we get someone like Tierney and Cucurella on a loan deal, we might get a centre half as well.
Yeah.
A permanent, but if we get Lewis Hall on a permanent, I think that's us done.
Yeah. Tanji says, I had a dream. I had a dream. Yep. We are 2-0 up against Man City with 10 minutes left and Big Dan Bird and Joe Linton protecting the ball in the corner flag against the angry robot. Bond scores as direct. Fergie's still haunted by the 5-0. It's showing his comments against us. Lee says, I can 3 more signings for us. Big shockers coming in. Do you know what wouldn't surprise me if somebody walks through the door? That I've always said this, but it wouldn't surprise me that there'll be a sign that'll walk through the door that's not being linked, not being even said in the papers or across the media, written or visual media, and this player will be presented, and we're all going to sit back and go, wow, where the hell did this happen? How's this happened without anybody knowing? And it could be a big wow player who comes in and we'll be like, wow. And it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me.
His name as well.
The way we keep our cards close to our chest, it would not surprise me. Troll says, yeah, but a 5-1 win and Villa blew us away. Predator says, suppose we've been linked with the Real Betis kid. Juan Miranda, the left back, buyout clause 8 million. Any heard this one? I've not heard this one, no.
I just thought of why Fergie might be saying that Villa's blew us away, because he probably blew us away thinking, how the hell were they that bad?
Yeah.
And it could be saying that Villa were the better team and everyone missed him saying at making mistakes and giving away goals. So I think he's been misquoted there. Or maybe he's just thinking that in his mind when he's saying that. Well, Villa were the better side at giving up goals, fouling, and making mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I'm just going to have a look and see if we are actually linked with this player, because I've not heard of that link. But I've not heard of that link at all. So again, it's one of them. We'll just have to wait and see if anything comes of it. I mean, we'll look at his stats while we're here. He's 23 years of age, plays for Real Betis. He's only got a year left on his contract. And if I go to La Liga last season, he started 16 out of 21 games, got 3 goals and 2 assists as a left back, which isn't bad. And he had 1 red card and 1 yellow card. He's got 1 cap and 1 goal for Spain as well. Right, let's look at his passing. He's 77% accurate per game. He's involved in 5 clean sheets, and he committed 1 penalty, but no errors that led to a shot over a goal. Interesting. Weaknesses is long balls, but no outstanding strengths. So again, it's an interesting one, but again, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Same as well.
Foxy says Rollheiser would be cheap, 10 to 15 million quid. Pretty average most of the season, to be honest, but has been on fire the last month. Good competition for Mickey. Played last game as a second striker as well, so quite versatile. Yeah, I look Foxy can play in 6 different positions, which is absolutely fantastic. So again, we'll see. If we are linked, it'll be worth a look at his stats, Tony. Yep, we just done that with Juan Ramanda. So again, it's just one of them. We just have to wait and see what happens, won't we? Apparently, according to Bia, Malik Thiaw, we've also been linked with. He actually plays for AC Milan.
Yeah, he is. He's a German international.
22-year-old, yeah.
22, centre back as well.
Yeah, ground duels, tackling and positionary strengths, no weaknesses. Centre back, right back. And in Serie A last season, he started 15 out of 20 games, no goals and no assists. But yeah, he's a centre back and 5 yellows. And he's made 2 appearances for the German team as well. So again, that's maybe one that we can look at as well. He can put long balls in a snud. My ex had a weakness for long balls, says would-be farmer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bloody hell. Oh, God, honestly, it gets better and better. Right, guys, we're coming to the end of the show, but it's been a cracking show. Only 4 likes, you Muppets, would-be farmer. Yeah, I mean, look, we've had we're coming to the end of the show. Sent you a tweet, Tony, to share sending leagues across Europe, and Chelsea is staggering. Right, let me have a look at this and see what Tanji shared with me. Right, so on this tweet it says transfer summer spending since the summer of 2022. Premier League, 5.14 billion euros. Serie A, second place, 1.59 billion euros. Ligue 1, France, 1.35 billion euros. Bundesliga, fourth, 1.16 billion euros. Fifth, Chelsea, 934 million euros. Sixth, La Liga, 894 million euros. The Saudi Pro League, 559 million euros. Man United, 435 million euros. Arsenal, 427 million euros. And finally on that leaderboard on the top 10, propping up the rest is Liga Portugal, the Primeira Liga, and it is 402 million euros. So Chelsea's fifth in that list.
It's ridiculous.
Isn't it? Yeah. But I mean, I don't think it's
like to spend.
Yeah. I don't think it's I don't think they're that great, to be honest, are they? I mean, Chelsea, look, they're just going out and spending money, but they're buying all these players in. Where are they fitting them in? What's their system? What's their, what is their strategy? Because they don't seem to have one, do they?
No, they're buying good players for the sake of it. They've got no coherent strategy. They're not buying. They're just buying. It's almost like they look to see who Liverpool want to buy and then buying them instead.
Yeah. Julie says, great show as always, thank you. Julie says 33 likes would be farmer. Yeah, maybe he's got his son modelled up. Lee says, class show tonight, Tony, Roly and Pete. Thank you very much.
Lee.
Mary's just come in. Evening. Good evening, Mary. Hope you're well. Great show, lads, as always. Should try and get Kel back. Seems like a sound lad. Yeah, we will do. Heard some Villa fans say our goals was avoidable. Well, of course they are avoidable. Most goals are absolutely trolls.
Mm-hmm. Especially that Evac one was avoidable.
Yeah. Not sure about your stats, but he's got one hell of a free kick on him. Gary says 900 million to draw 1-1. Great show, says Trolls, and great show, says Ian. Yeah. Roly, do you want to let people know where they can find you on your socials?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pols67.
Yeah.
Or is it more fondly known as the app that formerly known as Twitter?
Yeah. Gary says, another show tomorrow, Tony? Yes, there should be. Yes, mate. Coffee says, bye, Tony PD, Roly, no. Bye, Coffee, and
Coffee.
Take care, all. Goodbye, all. Look forward to the next show, says Julie. Goodbye to you, Julie. Thank you very much. Mary says, I'm not well, lads, but the docs will get involved this week, so find out why. Get well soon, Mary. Get well soon. Yeah. Get yourself checked out, and let's hope all is okay, and keep us up to date with your progress as well. Predator says, great show, lads. Everyone stay safe, everyone, and see you on the next one. Absolutely, yeah, mate. We're not gone yet. Just hang on 5 minutes. Right, Pete, let people know where they can find you and what is coming up on your channel this week.
Find me there on my channel, PD Proudlock. So far, we'll be back Thursday for the Man City preview. Of course, if any news comes out of the club, I'll do videos on that. That may sound interesting. Friday, the Crazy Show will be back. So can't wait for that. And also follow me on my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all PD Proudlock as well.
Lovely. Thank you very much indeed, Pete. If you do like what you see, guys, then please do smash that like. It really does help the channel. So if you haven't yet smashed the like, then please do so on the way out. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, come and join this great community and hit that subscribe button. And also the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. So now over the 1,000 mark, 1,001 exactly. And so if you're new, do hit that subscribe as well. And you can find me on Twitter at TonyTony31. I'll still call it Twitter, even though you call it that. Also, you can find me on Twitch with the same name. On Facebook, it's All Black and White TV. Click to join and I'll let you in. Also on Instagram and Threads, it's All Black and White TV as well. God, I've got so many social medias, haven't I? You know. I've even got TikTok, but I don't use TikTok, by the way. But anyway. So you can find me on all them platforms. I'm out of breath saying them, all them platforms now. And let's just get into some comments before we wrap up this show tonight. So we'll get to where we are. Everybody's saying, get well soon, Mary. Absolutely, Mary.
Absolutely.
Your health comes first, Mary. So, you know. See you all, groovy cats later, says Gary. See you later, Gary.
Okay, Gary.
Foxy says, where's the Belgian league on that list, lol? You know, you're never going to live that down now, Roly.
No.
Yeah. Big thumbs up to Tony, Roly and Pizzas Lee. Thank you very much indeed.
There's a link.
Mary almost started a coughing fit. Oh, be careful, Mary. Hi. I mean, I remember my mate broke his ribs through sneezing, believe it or not, when he had a cold.
Oh.
Yeah. He felt something and he thought, what was that? And then he went to work the next day and he was in agony and they sent him home and he went to the hospital and said, oh, you've broke a rib. And he went, well, how could I have done that? And they says, what have you done? He says, well, apart from sneeze last night. They went, oh, could have been that then. Because the force of him sneezing snapped one of his ribs. So, yeah, it's not nice. It's an ouchie moment. But, yeah, absolutely. Anyway, guys, yes, we should be back tomorrow with a show, so do keep an eye out for that on the notifications. But until then, we're going to bid you good night, and it's goodbye from me.
From me.
Me.
How are the lads?